What's up? I've gotten some questions about this channel, Beat Goblin, and what the difference is between it and my main channel, Gabe Miller Music. If you're completely new here and don't know who I am, click the channel icon and watch something else, because this is going to be very meta and inside baseball. But if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. How's it going? Essentially, the difference between Gabe Miller Music and Beat Goblin is that Gabe Miller Music is very much a music production hardware-focused channel. It is within the niche of this kind of stuff that I've really been focusing on making, the kind of stuff the audience really wants to see, and what the YouTube algorithm wants to promote. Beat Goblin is a big ol' experiment, and more importantly, the dumping ground for experiments. If I have an unproven idea, a particularly silly idea, this is where this goes. Or even just a off-topic idea. And there are limits. Of course, this is still going to be a music production focused channel like my main channel is, but the focus and like the lens through which videos are framed is going to be a little bit different. So like I alluded to on the main channel, a lot of stuff is hardware focused. It's either focused around a gadget or a process with a gadget. There's a lot of tutorials, reviews. I made insert genre here on insert device here. That kind of content has been the bread and butter of the main channel, and that's not going away. And that's the kind of stuff that I feel good about putting out on there. And I don't necessarily want to feel like by putting out something that the audience might totally not be interested in or something that's totally off topic, I don't want to feel like I'm sabotaging the success of the main channel. But that's meant that I've just kind of left a lot of creativity on the table. There are a bunch of ideas that I've had sitting around for ages that it's like, oh, I want to do this and put this out for an audience. But I feel weird about putting it on the main channel because it's not what the audience subscribed for and it's not what the algorithm wants to promote. And hey, if it doesn't promote that, maybe it doesn't promote my next video. Now, YouTube has gotten pretty damn good about promoting stuff on a topic basis. So that's actually not as much of a concern as it would have been maybe a couple of years ago, but it's still something I worry about. And I figured I would give myself an outlet for unproven ideas or ideas that aren't so hardware centric. Now, the line is going to be very blurry, and I want to just like let you know that right away, because sometimes I'll take an unproven idea and put it on the main channel if I just want a lot of people to see it. For instance, the video I made a cyberpunk metal song was originally meant to be a Beat Goblin video because I was like, oh, well, I dabbled in something outside my normal genre, who cares? But then, like, I spent money to hire a vocalist and put, like, a lot of freaking effort into the song. I was like, damn it, I want people to see this. Fortunately, all were pretty receptive to it, which was awesome. But sometimes there will be ideas that are even more off the beaten path or off of my normal topics, and I'll probably put them here. For example, I did a video where I made an EDM song just in Reaper with all plugins, and I wanted to use a bit of a clickbaitier title and thumbnail. It's just not the kind of thing that really fits on the main channel anymore. On this channel it goes, which is funny because like when I first started Gabe Miller Music, like when I was a senior in high school, I was making just like, hey, I made a thing in a DAW and here's how I made it because I think this is fun and I discovered some new stuff on how to make music. That used to be the focus, but at this point, like, it's very much evolved. Ever since I discovered the Novation circuit, the content has slowly shifted, as have my interests, to be fair, but that doesn't mean I left my original interests of like making EDM and bass music in a DAW or making really weird music production experiments. I never left those behind, and I felt like I was leaving them behind, so that's what this is for. For another example, I'm working on a video for Halloween where I make music with ghost hunting equipment. There's a possibility I might use some of my music production hardware, like the MPC-1, to make that music. I haven't quite decided yet. But even then, even if I use the MPC-1, the focus is not on the MPC-1 itself, but the focus is on the gimmick, the fact that I'm making music with ghost hunting equipment. That's the distinction, where I might still use a bunch of my music production hardware on this channel, but the focus is different. Or another example is a while back, I did a video where I tried plugins by more well-known music producers, and I used MC101 tracks to like test those plugins, but the focus is still the plugins, and that's not the kind of thing that just really feels like it fits on the main channel these days. So it goes here. So that's, in the short term, what to expect. Expect very similar format and similar amounts of effort. Like, they might be kind of like quicker, more slapped together videos sometimes, but like I've been experimenting with doing one-take commentary videos on both channels, so the amount of effort you're going to get is roughly the same. I think it's just the focus that is different. Game Miller Music is hardware. This is experimentation and doing some more like passion project type concepts. However, the other thing like in the back of my mind that I am thinking about is the fact that music production hardware and groove boxes specifically are like a niche of a niche of a niche of a niche. And there's probably a ceiling on the audience that I can gain from that. Now, to be very clear, I do this part-time. I work a full-time job. I don't need YouTube to be successful. I really don't. But for whatever reason, I care about that. Of course, to be clear, first and foremost, I care about bringing value to you guys and making content that's like genuinely worth watching and genuinely helpful. But like, I want to see how far I can take this. As an ambitious person with creative aspirations, I want to see how far I can take this whole building an audience, making music, and making content thing. With that, I do worry that eventually Game Miller Music hits a growth ceiling because it's on a really niche topic. And I want to see if maybe in the very long term, like 10 or 20 years, if Beat Goblin could get bigger by being more general on just music production and music production entertainment in general. Now, of course, that ambition could change, it could shift, it could get put on the back burner. I'm not really sure if that will happen or not, and there's still a chance that I kill this entire experiment and just start putting everything back on Game Miller Music again. But even then, I could still use this channel to experiment with other formats, like maybe I start putting some shorts on here. They didn't really feel like they fit on the main channel that much. I might still kind of tinker with them on and off, but this is where experiments go. So if you're along for the ride, I really appreciate it. If not, I totally get it. Regardless, if you'd like to check out some of the videos that are pretty emblematic of what this channel is meant to be, you can click or tap up over here, and I'll be back with a new one in a little bit.